Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is currently the 9th of April because I can't remember the date ever. And it is 6:30 p.m. Tuesday night. This is our last live session of Mod 3 here in DES109 Graphic Design 1. Our agenda tonight, I actually don't have a slide listing it out, but our agenda for tonight is to go over the importance of online portfolios and exactly the type of information that's going to go into them and why they're important. And then we will do our demonstration today on how to set up your own portfolio on Behance. And we'll go over the assignment instructions, and we'll also actually go over the assessment as well, because they're both kind of not interchanged, but they're very, very closely interconnected. So let's jump right in. Okay. So your online portfolio. Why do we need one? How do you get one? How do you make one? We have several online sites on there. And the reason why we have so many is because having an online portfolio these days is super, super important. The main reason is obviously to showcase your work. You want to show people what you can do, show them your skills. Be proud of the layouts that you've come up with, because it does take a lot of creativity to put these things together. You know, people might look at something and say, oh, I can do that. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes you know, anybody can slap paint, literally slap paint onto a canvas. Can they do it in an artistic manner? Not necessarily. So it's very, very similar in graphic design. Lots of people can play with Publisher and, paint it and all these other like really low scale kind of programs. Not everybody's going to be able to come up with something that is pleasing to look at and that communicates message appropriately. Another reason, big reason, is to let potential employers know that you are available for work. Otherwise, no one's going to be contacting you. So by putting your portfolio out there, people can see your work and then contact you if they feel that you are the right fit for them. To build a network of resources, collaborators, and clients, I have had several people contact me through one of my 2 portfolios online, excuse me, for work. I have people, a small group, but I do have a few people that follow some of my work. And it's very easy to collaborate with a lot of these people, you know, to share forums, to share sites that you can use, you know, those stock sites that I use, the stock vector and the stock photo sites. I didn't find on my own. I was directed towards them. And obviously Google is a very wonderful resource for something that you don't have and no one is giving to you. You can look for it. However, working with other colleagues is an amazing resource, and to be directed to those things obviously is a shortcut. So you can absolutely build up a network of not only individuals but groups and different sites that are tools that you can use. I don't remember if I've actually used my fonts in this particular mod or not, myfont.com, where you can actually use it to identify a particular font. That was another one that I was shown. There's actually another one. Brandsoftheworld.com is another one that there are a lot of contributors to this one. If there is a very large scale, well-known kind of logo that you're trying to figure out, or that you need to try to see if maybe there's an easier way to go about it rather than creating it yourself. Let's say, for example, Dunkin' Donuts, which is a very popular chain out here. I know the further west and the further south you go, it's not so much important, but these have all been created by other artists, aside from the ones obviously that say iStock, and they've already been vectorized. So it's and most of the stuff is free, so it can really save you a lot of time. Let's say let's go another another donut chain. Let's go Krispy Kreme. Let's see if they get anything for that. Bingo. So, you know, we have a couple of different things that, ooh, and a completely different language as well. Interesting. So, you know, this is another tool that is very, very useful. And again, I didn't stumble upon this. I, you know, was told to go there at some point because, oh, you know, see if Brands of the World has it. And lo and behold, whatever it was that I was looking for did. And I use this not frequently, but frequently enough that it, you know, it stays in my cache here. Maxwell is fun. Oh, okay, so good. Honestly, I can't even remember. Like I said, if I actually even had done this, but Devin, maybe I did since you actually knew it. For those of you that maybe either need a refresher or maybe I didn't actually mention it, this is myfonts.com, and what the font is this little tool that you can actually drop an image into. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find something real quick and I can actually show you what I mean. Well, just for the sake of finding another image quickly. There we go. And just save that to my desktop quick. And what you can actually do is drop your logo right in here. And it kind of recognizes where there is some text. So you would put your selection box right where the text is and hit click. And it will give you a whole bunch of suggestions. And a lot of the time they come up with something decent. Sometimes they are completely off. But, you know, at least it kind of gives you direction. And if for some reason these aren't anywhere near what you actually need, you can actually create an account here and you can consult what is called the Want the Font forum, which is a whole bunch of other artists, and typography gurus, I guess is what you might want to call them. Let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. Yeah, there we go. And let's see if I can actually find the forum. Yep, so these are all people that have actually posted. You can post your image and do a little description based on it. And I could go in here and I could, if I knew any of these fonts right off the top of my head, I could actually go in and tell them, oh, hey, I know that this font is blah, blah, blah. Like actually, for example, this is, if it's not Serpentine, oh, maybe it's City Boys, because right over here is where they have the suggested ones, but that looks very close to Serpentine. I mean, there's a lot of scripts that are out there, a lot of distressed ones, a lot of really basic sans serif font. That one I think is American Unseal. Oh, yep, see, American Unseal. So, and you can absolutely contribute to a lot of these. This person right here, I swear, works for my fonts because this person is constantly on there. So I'm guessing it's maybe their account or something, because if you look, it just, this person is just obviously really good at that job. So it's a really, really helpful resource. Oh, and actually I can even show you guys how to do that because I know this one off the top of my head. So let's actually jump in here real quick. Let's go. Oops. Copper plate. And let's see. Because it's asking for a link. So I'm going to go find it. And if it's not that font, it's pretty darn close. So oops, there we go. Oh, actually, it already has it. So, because it looked it up. Awesome. So now I can actually, I have identify a font in this image, and I'm going to post that comment for this person. And I actually, oh, I have missing fields, but, oh, okay, text from the posted image. Oh, there's probably like a little captcha. There we go. Making sure that I'm not just saying just random stuff here. So that, you know, this will show up actually in the forum next. And so I have commented right here. And hopefully that person will we'll mark it solved when they're all ready to go, and I'll get a little notification because I have it checked off there. Devin says one of his employers had a font he bought for his business, wouldn't tell him what it was. So you found it out using this particular tool, obviously, or maybe it wasn't the forum, maybe it was just what the font. And he was amazed that I figured it out with buying the font. We have to, as graphic designers, we have to be incredibly resourceful. And this is kind of actually a great example of what I was mentioning yesterday about how designers, we all, the field brings a certain brand of person to it. And typically, we are all more than happy to help each other out, which is why there are tons of forums like this. And because people hate having to struggle. So things like this is, it's obviously really, really helpful. So, and there we go, off on my little tangent there. So building a network of resources is where I was, so what I was discussing there. So why else should we create an online portfolio? Creates a great first impression to employers. I'm sure Devin was able to create a great great impression to that particular employer when you were able to create that piece. And this, just like I mentioned yesterday, it indicates to potential employers and clients that you have put together the time and effort to create this work online and to put yourself out there. It's essentially like taking out a newspaper ad back in, way back when, where you are making the effort and you are putting yourself out there just in a different medium. So you are showing these employers and these clients that you are a professional. Benefits of having an online portfolio. It's constantly working for you by increasing your visibility. Whether you are in Alaska, South America, in the middle of the dead of Russian winter, it is constantly working for you. And you could be all the way across the planet from someone looking at your portfolio, which is an amazing thing. Obviously, they can't call you at that time of night. If it's in the middle of the night, you don't want someone calling you. But you want to be careful about the contact information you put out there. But the point is, you don't have to be handing out print copies of your portfolio. You don't have to be stopping in at different places with your portfolio for your portfolio to be working for you. It is always up. It is always posted unless the server goes down, in which case, there's only so much you can do about it. That's why I actually keep a couple of different portfolios. I do 2 of the professional design portfolios, and then I also have my own website, and I also actually have a Facebook page that has every single thing has the exact same information on it. They're just different ways of being able to get it out there, because some people don't have a Facebook. Some people don't want to bother going on an online portfolio site separately, but they're always on, they're always on the web. They know that they can find a particular website, or, vice versa. So I provide different options for them, which also is flexible, like I was just saying, by providing different options. It is very flexible, both for the future client and for the future employer, as well as for yourself. It is very, very easy to upload art, to download, to take off art, to modify it while it's on the portfolio, especially taking those first few steps to actually upload a significant amount of pieces. And it's very easy to change your information in there too. So it is flexible for everybody all year round, 24/7, 365. Keeps you organized and up to date. Absolutely. It can very easily prevent you from getting stale. You can be paying closer attention to your work. And, after you've been doing this for a little while, you look back and say, well, I can't believe, that first piece that I did, really, it still looks really good. When I designed it, I wasn't sure of myself and didn't know if what I was doing was really going to be kind of up to par in the field, but I really put together this kind of classic look. Or you could say the complete opposite and go, oh my God, I can't believe I thought that was good. I got to take it down. And either way, you're constantly reviewing your work. Additionally, you can keep your work organized so you can actually market to different people, different clients, different employers. So that's pretty beneficial. Devin says he's been using DeviantArt for 16 years. You know, I've never actually used it for a portfolio, but I do sometimes get redirected there for people that like share brushes and different kind of art, like vector resources and stuff like that. I wonder if that's maybe simply how, simply what it's become. Because I don't ever go there specifically looking for stuff, but sometimes I'll get redirected there if I'm searching for something. So I wonder if that's why. But Devin, there's so many different online portfolio sites these days. Excuse me, that might be another reason, because they are just everywhere. Another benefit, it provides resources for research. You not only could be looking at different organizations, different forums and whatnot, but you can actually follow other people, other individuals, and then maybe you'd be researching that individual. Maybe you'd be researching the groups that they are part of. Maybe you'd be researching tools and tips and tricks that you have seen through this individual's work. So it kind of is almost like a little trail, kind of little breadcrumb trail. And one other last benefit, it draws employers in by providing visuals of your experience, and that is huge. You know, I have mentioned several times about how you only have a few seconds to capture someone's attention with those social media ads, with a website page, web page. The image is what is going to be, it's what's going to stop someone's eye. And by providing a visual of your work, that is going to stop an employer and say, oh, that looks interesting. Wonder what else they can do. It also can actually, you know, maybe someone might take a look at your work and say, you know what, that's really not what I'm looking for. But it can very easily stay in the back of your mind, and maybe for a future project, they come back to you and say, yeah, you know, I remembered this piece that I had seen that you did that I just fell in love with because X, Y, and Z. Or the complete opposite end again. Maybe they weren't necessarily going to contact you, but when they managed to, you know, they took your resume, they clicked on your portfolio site and said, oh my God, this is exactly what we're looking for. So it can, again, it's helping you without you even doing anything at that particular second. So as I just mentioned a minute ago to Devin, there are so many different examples of online portfolio sites. We're going to be specifically talking about Behance, but there are, and you can Google it, there are just so many out there. First one, like I said, we're going to be working with is Behance. It's behance.net. They are affiliated with Adobe, because who the heck isn't these days? Their logo is right over here. Dribble with 3 B's, DRIBBBLE.com. I didn't notice that the first time I saw that, so that's why I always put note. That's this logo guy over here. Coraflow.com is another one. That's where I have my second portfolio site. That's this guy. Adobe Portfolio actually can link up with your Behance. You can create a portfolio directly from there, which is super helpful. And Carbon Made is another highly recommended top portfolio site as well. But this is just, you know, this was the blog that I was looking at, and there were 5 other portfolio websites to look at in that particular article. These are just the top 5, and that obviously isn't all of them. So you know, you can definitely browse around there, you know, after you've taken this class, browse around, see if there's any others out there that suit your personality, suit your needs a little bit more. If you want to create that in addition to your Behance one, perfect. Obviously for your degree with us, we'll be using that one. So what should your portfolio contain? Your portfolio should obviously have examples of your work, and you can, you should watermark your images wherever possible. It is simply a means of protecting you, and it's very easy to do. It's time consuming initially just to put something together, but once you've done that, it is very easy. Do any of the other portfolio sites allow custom URL link names? It's very possible. I actually, on my CoralFlow site, yes, that one I was able to customize it. So I have coralflow.com/PSG, and then my Behance one. Oh, whoops, that's because I'm not logged out here. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? No, it must not be. There we go, PSG 14. Okay, see, these are the logged out versions. Woo. So I have PSG 14 and then PSG. So I'm pretty positive that these aren't going to be the only two that you can do that with, Devin. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to, you at least would be able to look into it to make sure that, it's easier to be able to customize your URL, and then it's easy for you to remember. So very good question. Let's see, where was I? Go back down here. There we go. So watermark images, contact information. You want to make sure that your customers, your clients, your potential employers can reach you. So whether it's your cell phone number, an office line, a home line, an email is probably right up there with making sure that you include that type of information. It shows that you're with technology, obviously. But you don't have to be providing all of your contact information, your passport number, your birthday, your everything. You don't have to be doing that. Just at least some manner that they can contact you. Information about yourself. You obviously can choose the type of information that you share, but a little bit of a background is always beneficial because it gives the person that is looking at your portfolio a sense of who you are. It kind of gives them a little bit of context. Testimonials, if you have them, they are wonderful. They can work wonders to have your previous clients or previous employers share their experience with you to show other potential clients and employers that, yes, I've worked with Devin, I've worked with Amber, and we had a great experience, and it's helped our business, and yada, 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 to show that you are legit, you are for real, and you are professional. So when is your portfolio complete? You've spent several hours creating your portfolio, customizing all your settings, using the colors that you want, the fonts that you want. You have several pieces up there. When is it done? Never, unfortunately. Your portfolio should be as organic as you are, and it should be a living, breathing, constantly growing kind of thing. If your portfolio stops being modified, you need to wonder either A, is it maybe time to do something else? Or B, has your style grown stale? It is very easy to do in this industry to kind of get comfortable and to get into, not even necessarily a rut, but to kind of get into a zone where you're creating the same thing over and over again. And that's where you'll end up finding trouble in the industry in terms of finding work or finding new work or finding new clients. Maybe the amount of work you have is fine, but it's the same thing over and over again. So you always want to try to make sure that you are uploading. Right in the beginning, you guys are probably going to be uploading constantly, and that's a good thing. You might be taking things off constantly, and that's a good thing because you're constantly going to be reviewing all of your work. Once you have a decent amount of work on there, then you can start to, every maybe couple of months review it, see if anything should be taken down. Maybe you should switch the order around and feature different pieces, and that kind of thing. So that is that. for the presentation portion of our class. We have one final secret question for this mod, excuse me, which is, I twisted my ankle on Sunday playing what with my son? What was I doing when my stupid ankle decided to give out on me? And I'll give Amber and Devin a second. Do either of you have any guesses? Because I had to come up with some different questions this mod, since Amber was looking at my other videos from the other mods. Devin says soccer or kickball, and no, it actually didn't. Amber says shush. No, it didn't actually involve any balls whatsoever, and no sports balls. I was playing laser tag with my son because my daughters were in a karate tournament. I needed to do something fun with him to just kind of get out there and do some stuff. So we had a really good time, aside from the fact that I had twisted my ankle. But anyways, so that is the end of the slideshow for today. So we're going to get moving right on to going over the assignment and the assessment. I'm actually kind of going to go back. I'm going to go to the assessment real quick first, so that once I get going with the portfolio assignment, I don't have to go backwards. So what you are going to be doing for the assessment this week, essentially, is you're going to be taking those revisions that I don't think I'm about halfway done the grading. I think I'm maybe like a quarter of the way through the grading, because I do try to make sure that I take my time with this particular assignment with week 3 to make sure that I'm commenting on as much as I possibly can to give you guys as much information as possible for this assessment. So you're going to be taking that feedback, excuse me, and you're going to be making those revisions, and just to the poster, not to the mood board. Just the poster is all I need. Whether you worked in Illustrator or InDesign, you just go back into there and make those adjustments. Save the file with our standard naming convention here. If you are using Illustrator, save your file as a PDF. So it's just file, save as PDF. If you're using InDesign, export your file as a PDF. Excuse me. You will then upload that PDF as your final assessment for this week. So pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of trying to translate the information that I'm giving you guys and trying to put it down on quote-unquote paper. But, you know, obviously this is screen. For the assignment for this week, let me go back here. There we go, to my arrow. Okay, we are, like I said, we are setting up our portfolio. And when you are trying to put together your portfolio, there are a handful of questions that you want to make sure that you are taking into consideration before you upload your work. First thing, is it accurate? And is it really the best piece that you can possibly put together? So are there spelling errors? Is the math correct? Is the date wrong? And does it contain high-res imagery? You don't want to upload something that's low-res, because that will give the impression that either you don't know what you're doing, which you don't want that impression to other people, or that maybe your work isn't as high quality as someone else's work. Excuse me. So you want your imagery to be as clear and high quality as possible. The second thing, is there an element that's particularly important? And if there is, how can you show a number of different views? For example, if you have packaging design, maybe you want to show how it is laid out on the template first, and then a picture of the final product. Maybe you had a mock-up of some kind of product that was in the R&D process, and then it actually went to market, so you can show the product in its final stages of production. So, you know, that kind of thing. Or maybe there's just a very, very large project that there were so many different elements to it. For example, you know, I mean, this isn't a large project, but maybe you had a bride that wanted you to design every aspect of her wedding, from seating cards and pamphlets to save the dates to putting up giant signage at their wedding, or whatever. You have this nice collection and you can be showing all of those different aspects, or that kind of thing. And actually that kind of goes along with the both the examples that I gave for number 2 kind of go along with number 3. Would it make sense to include a physical mock-up? So that kind of goes with the packaging or the product development kind of piece. So what you will be doing for this assignment is creating your site, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a minute, and make sure you have some information in the written profile, upload some kind of picture, make sure everything looks nice and professional. We are designers, so something creative is not necessarily out of the scope of professional. You just want to make sure that, again, it is high quality, it maybe represents you or your work. We will be using that revised poster from that assessment, and that is going to be your first piece, your first upload. So you want to take a look at those questions that we just went over and make sure that the piece is absolutely pristine and very professional, because that is going to be one of the first impressions that you make for someone. When you are finished, submit the URL in the Behance site, or to the Behance site in the assignment comments, so that I can find it. And then I also need you to email me the link as well as to your FPA. So you can actually email it to the FPA and then CC me. And if you don't know who your FPA is, let me know. I have a list, so I can definitely connect you with them. That's not a problem. You can save your poster as a JPEG, or you can even do the PDF as well when you are submitting your assignment. And actually, where is... And actually, I need to, the poster also, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at these instructions right here, and now I'm understanding why people get confused in this particular week. So you can, just backing up, for the submission, you can submit the PDF that you have revised, or you can submit a JPEG of it. Either way, you're going to actually have to upload a JPEG to Behance. Not the PDF. So I'm actually going to, I think, create a ticket to see if I can kind of consolidate some of these instructions, because that's a little confusing. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Wouldn't be a session if I didn't sneeze. So we have a couple benchmarks right here. Oh, God, I feel like I'm always running behind. This is what your project is essentially going to look like when it's finished. So let's get going, because I am, like I said, I'm running behind again, and I got to stop doing that. So we have my, I exported the poster page for this one. I got maybe 2 likes, 950 friends. You know what, there aren't a ton of people that are constantly watching though. So give it some time, Devin. You'll be all right. So I have these 2 sites that I use very frequently, Behance and CoralFlow. You can see they're slightly different the way that they're laid out, but on Behance I have my information on the left hand side complete with description. I have several links. These are all the links to different social media accounts that I have actually put in there. This essentially, you can actually put in your work experience and your education. You end up almost having a full resume right there with you. These are my stats. See, I don't even have a ton there either, Devin. It's but I've got enough views for my liking. And that contact information right here. If you notice, my cover page or my cover photo is the same on both. And I have the same images, the same cover images pretty much on both as well. I don't know where my website, there we go, my website design one is right there, which we have it right here as well. This is sports photography. My sports photography one is right down here. So it's all the same thing. And I do that simply for redundancy, so that if people, I actually have had instances before where one link is down, they have the other one available. So what you are going to do to get started, I have this other browser window up. This is where I'm going to create You hit sign in. And if you have an Adobe ID or you can remember your Adobe ID, you can actually use that for your Behance login. If you don't, you can create an account and then sign in. This is what you'll see initially. And what you are going to do, oh, is this, there we go. I knew that that wasn't quite as 100%. Looks like I actually have a couple of notifications here. Let's see. Oh, that's actually one of my former students. So look at that. We have a couple of appreciations. So it's almost like a little news feed, obviously. And actually, you can even see. Oops. You can even see these individuals have their own. See, we have this person's in Bangladesh. Holy crap! They have their own individual pictures that they've uploaded. This, I think, is the standard avatar. And what you are going to do is create your project. There's a button up here. There's lots of different places where you can click to do a lot of these things. You can go right down the left-hand side if you'd like and kind of make sure that you hit each one of the items. You can start it right here too. These are essentially the same buttons as over here. So we're going to upload a couple of files real quick. I have, oh, okay. Sweet, this is where I haven't continued from. I almost got confused. All right, Devin, well, here we go. This is a folder that I keep on my computer where I like to make sure that I kind of dump them in there until I actually have a chance to go in and watermark my images and then upload them. So I make sure that everything, because some of these need to be color corrected, some of them just need to be cropped. So I am just going to select a couple. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. I'll do this one, this one, this one, because they're all kind of related. And that one. So I have just selected a couple images. They're loading up. And the fact that it's black means that obviously it's still loading. Okay, and now here's where you can edit. You can set up how you would like to, you can customize this. Actually, let me even, this must be why I had it zoomed out a little bit before. Okay, so we are in the upload section. You can edit each individual image if you would like. You can add a caption. You can, if you realize, oh, wait a minute, that's not the one I wanted, you can replace it. You can delete it if you want to get rid of it altogether. You can reorder the project. So if you have 12 images and one of them, you know, you wanted to switch them up a little bit, you can do that too. You have your little 4-arrow docker here, and you just click and drag the order that you want them. Okay, save new order, and you will see it has changed. Okay, so you can, like I said, you can actually edit it from up here. You can actually click right below here. All I'm doing right now is hovering, and I can click in here. Whoop, there we go, to add some text. Actually, I have to call this woman for her own wedding invitations. That's that's reminding me. Ding. Okay, and actually that'll show, I just click off there, and I could center it if I'd like. There we go. I can adjust the font. I can make it bold, and I can do all of these things actually in here as well. So we have up top here, I believe, is the caption, and then this is a title. If you go to add text, oh, why did it just do that? I think I must have clicked on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing things a little bit backwards here. Edit styles and layout. This is actually what I was trying to explain to you. This one will actually do your entire group for you. So, for example, if I wanted to add those captions and then change up the style, it will do all of them. So let me actually, I'll actually add a caption real quick. No caption. Whoops. Add caption. Why is this doing this? Oh, there we go. I just couldn't see the. I just couldn't see the text. There we go. I'm going to scroll up here, add caption. I'm going to go caption 2. Now, if I go back over here to the left-hand side and do edit styles and layout, you can see my caption down here. I'm going to make it, I'm going to go to captions. I'm going to go to Bookman. I'm going to make it real big. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it red. And I'm going to hit save. And you can do this for that. We have headers, we have subheaders. These are all different areas in the, over here, they're different sections here. Like I said, we have this one right here. We have this one up top here. Now, if you notice, this is red. It's italic. It's Bookman. And this should have changed as well. Oh, see, now it's calling me a liar. But now you can see it. There we go. Caption 1 is also red. Caption 2 is also red. So when you watermark, you add a layer with transparency before uploading. I will actually show you, Devin, how I do that as well, because I've had lots of people ask about that. So I have that ready to go, and I can show you guys in just a little bit. So we have our photo grid here. You can add photos there. You can, like I said, you can add text. This is for individual images. This wouldn't be for everything. So if you're going to do the entire group, it would be edit styles and layout. Okay. And you also actually, the dividers, they sometimes do little lines here. I don't have them set like that. You see how that just showed up right there? If I wanted to maybe make it red, I could do that too. Okay. If I wanted to decrease the amount of spacing between the images, I can do that as well. So, this one right now, it has a caption in between, so it's not abutted up to it, but this one, obviously, you can see got much closer. Okay, same thing here. Okay. And the reason why this one right here is not the same, it's not the red, it's not the Bookman, is because this is not a caption. This was, I believe, a title. It might be a title, it might be a heading. I'm not certain. I don't remember off the top of my head. When you have finished putting in a little description of your piece, a title if you want it, how you have customized this however you like. You can actually also, I think, even do a background. Yes, you could do a background if you want. See, you can actually even do that, or you could even upload something. Let's see. Maybe let's go. Let's go. Oh, we'll do that guy. Let's see it. Nope, it's too large. Well, because I don't normally do this. Nope, that one's too large too. So it would have to be under a meg if you're going to do that. So, but you could absolutely do that there as well. I just canceled it. That's why it's still white now. So you're going to head up here where you're going to go to continue. Or if you want to save it so you don't lose it, that's fine too. Here, this is going to be your cover photo. This is the one of the ones that you would see up front. We're going to say DES109 demo. And I'm going to bring this in a little bit, I think, because there we go. Actually, I want to see the date, I think. So you rearrange it so that it works. You could also try a different image if you don't like the one that shows up automatically. Okay. And we'll go crop and continue. And this is where you start putting in a little bit more information about the project itself. Okay, and some of this information is required, some of it isn't. You can add the different tools. Let me see, I had acrylic paint on that first thing. There we go, canvas. Canvas, not the software, actual canvas. Let's see, what else did I use? I used InDesign. So a lot of these things will actually automatically populate as you go. Illustrator, Corel, whoops. Corel Draw. There we go. And once you've kind of figured out, what other tools you've used, hit done. How would I categorize the project? I would categorize it as, well, it was kind of a conglomerate of different things. Let's go. Graphic design, maybe, oh, I don't know. Fine arts, because I had a painting in there, and we'll go illustration, because I had to do the little rattles and the skulls. Okay, if you have a copyright, you can edit that. If you have adult content, which I do not in there, Display, this would be how you want it shown to other people. Discoverability, the more words or the better keywords you have in here, the more people are going to see it. Again, same thing with the project description. The better description you have, the more people are going to see it. I actually have an announcement for putting up keywords I'm going to put up later tonight, so you can read through those. And it just kind of gives you some tips to make sure that people can find you. If it was done for anyone in particular that you might be able to credit or link this to, you can also add that information. Okay. And when you are ready, hit publish, and that will save it automatically. You can save as you go, though. When this comes up, this is your way of being able to share it with people. Share it on your other social media sites. You can copy and paste this onto your Facebook, your Twitter, your Pinterest, your LinkedIn. You can actually click it right from there. It'll bring you to your account as long as you're signed in. You just sign in right there, and boom, you can share that information with people. And then your friends, your family, other clients know that you have something new. So now this project has now been published. I'm going to go to my profile, and bingo, here it is. Okay. Once now, so you can see I don't have any appreciations. I'm the only viewer of it so far. You can see that the numbers are different for all these other ones. Okay. Yes, I don't have a lot of likes on them, but again, it's because I have a lot of stuff up here. And I have a profile checklist. You could even possibly make sure that you have filled everything out there. If you put something up and you're not quite ready to publish it yet, but you have it saved, you can unpublish it. You can delete it if it really is not what you want. You can go in and edit it after the fact. You can make a copy of it if you want. Promoting is how you would, you're good? Okay, it came back. Amber couldn't see my screen for a minute there. Hopefully there wasn't something that I did. So promoting would be like sharing with your social media and whatnot, those little icons there. So I'm actually going to unpublish this so I can show you how to do it. Okay, and I have not deleted it, even though it's not showing up here anymore. It simply is now in my drafts. And as you can see, I have done this a couple of different times. I probably should get rid of it. But I could very easily from here go into edit, and I could publish it again. Okay, go through all these steps one more time. Publish, go to my profile, whoops. Go to my profile, and bingo, there it is again. Excuse me. So that is creating a project. We also, for this assignment, need you guys to make sure that you include a little bit of information about yourself. So you can go over to edit your profile on the left-hand side, or actually, before we even do that, make sure you edit your picture or your avatar. Click your little plus sign there. Edit avatar, pick a different picture, or pick a picture. Oh, see, a lot of my stuff is too big because those are actually high-res photos, and that's why. So you put something up there that is appropriate. This is, obviously my contact information. Go to edit your profile, and you can do something very similar to what you were kind of just doing with the project itself. You can click on the left-hand side, and it'll bring you right down to the individual spot, or you can just fill out as you go. Obviously, I have my name, my business name, my website. I keep scrolling down. This is where you can add your different social media accounts or other websites if you have them. So, for example, Devin, you could put your DeviantArt in here potentially. Okay, and actually, let me see. Oh, yep, see, look at that. Vimeo, YouTube, Tumblr, Google+. I mean, there's so many on here. Look at that. You can also do your custom. So I have my other online portfolio here, and then this is my website. And I put my websites under construction always, simply because I like to make sure that I know that my customers know that I'm always adding stuff. And actually, I scrolled down a little bit too far. I'm sorry about that. Underneath the social media accounts, we have our business, and that or about me. This is where you would put a little bit of information about you. I believe actually this says our business because it's my business. Work experience, you would be putting in your work experience. Very kind of self-explanatory, but you add your work experience here, and it has different areas to fill out. Dates, responsibilities, position, whatnot. Your education you can put in as well. Any awards you may have won. These are all the different skills. So this is essentially your resume. We have a comment over here. So overwhelmed and lost. What if you've not in the graphics agency? Don't worry about it yet, Amber. I honestly would just make sure that you mention that you are a student and you're looking for graphic work. Put anything at this point to make sure that people know that you do have work experience and that you are motivated. If you make mention, especially right on that first page, that you are a graphic design student and that you are determined to get out into the field and whatnot, people are going to know that you are, that's what you're looking for. And that everyone has to start somewhere. So don't be at all concerned about that. And please don't be overwhelmed. I swear to God, this is easy. If you do have questions, if you want me to walk you through this, I am more than happy to do that. If you want to come in on Thursday for the multi-session, we can do that. Or if you can't do that on Thursday, you want to email me questions, I can even go through them bit by bit and record that and then post it. So don't worry, you got plenty of time. It's only Tuesday. Excuse me. So once you have filled out all that information and you go back to your profile, this area right here will be filled out. Okay. And then, like we had mentioned yesterday, you can actually change your settings just like pretty much any other account you might have out there these days. If you go to settings, oh, for God's sakes, it's going to ask for your password again because, I have all sorts of people out there that are trying to get into my Behance account. And this is where you could actually edit your URL as long as it is available, as we saw yesterday with Devin, where I put in what he might use, and it showed up that it was already taken, and it was because Devin was already using it. So that is a nice, easy way to be able to remember what your URL is so that you can very easily say, oh yeah, it's behance.net/blah, blah, blah. Behance.net/corndog, I guess was what we were talking about yesterday. And again, you can have, these are all just your settings for whether or not you want the newsletters, if you want notifications for various things, if you want to block people, delete your account, which don't delete your account until after graduation. If that is something that you want to do, you find another site that you prefer, just don't get rid of the account until you're certain you don't need it for IU anymore, because I would hate for you to have to go through the whole thing again. And that is essentially Behance. Yes, Amber, we can totally figure something out in terms of a schedule. Don't worry about that. We can definitely work on that. Do either of you guys have any specific questions for these right now? Because I know I am running a little bit late as usual. So while I am actually getting back to, there we go, my profile. Yeah, Devin, it is. I mean, it is pretty easy though once you get used to it, where everything is. Especially once you're uploading things constantly, it is. You'll realize how quickly you can memorize where everything is, because you're like, oh, that's right, it's up here, it's down here. And it looks like we actually just had someone come in. Hi, how you doing? Are you looking for graphic design 1, DES109? No problem. I see. I have a fairly unique screen in here. Oh, it's Jonathan. Well, hi there. Okay, I was just going to ask who it was. So we are just finishing up here, Jonathan. So just give me a quick minute to just go over 1 or 2 more things, and then we can take some questions if you want. Okay. And I did want to make sure that I pointed out, there we go, let me just close these guys out there. There are lots of different icons out there for some of these sites, these these portfolio sites, a lot of them will have like kind of branding information. You can go and actually download their logos. I know Behance has one. I think Carflow also does, if you want to use them on your other sites. So for example, let me see if I can actually pull this up real quick. You're going to end up seeing part of my account here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. That's my other thing. Ooh, that's quite the face. There we go. So this is my business page, which Devin and Amber, you can see, has the same image as my sites. And I could use those on here to link very easily over to my portfolio. Not a problem, Jonathan, absolutely. We can make sure we do that after the session here. And I'm just kind of going back and forth here. So yeah, actually, let me even see if I can, graphics.com. I can actually even show you kind of what I'm talking about. We have obviously right here as well, the different icons. So that's kind of an example. And actually this one right here is old. I actually have to change that one because Carflow doesn't use the cherries anymore. So those are just some examples. I can imagine that, Amber, don't worry about it. Just take some deep breaths. You're going to be all right. That I know that computer issues are definitely, they can definitely throw you for a loop because it just makes you think about all the different things that you have kind of going on. So I think that was it, because I don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. There we go. And I don't need that anymore. So Devin, did you have any other questions or comments for any of this other than the menus? Excuse me, my throat's dry. And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't end up doing one more critique, because I would have ended up going over like 15 minutes. But for any of those that are watching right now, if I had not done a critique on yours and you would like me to still maybe do a critique either before or after I grade, just shoot me a message and let me know, and I can do that as well. Thank you very much, Evan. I mean, Amber, I really do appreciate that feedback. And yes, Devin, it actually is kind of fun once you kind of get in there and kind of make it your own. So you know, jump right in there and customize those settings, and you'll be all set. And Amber, I would be more than happy. I'll do that, and I'll record it and I'll post it for you. Okay. That way I can make sure I get all that stuff out to you guys. So I don't think I've graded yours just yet. I've only done a handful of them so far, but so I guess it looks like we don't have any other questions for right now. So I will bid you all adieu, just in case I don't see anybody else in the multi-session this week. Thank you guys for coming in this mod. Thank you for watching the sessions. And Amber and Devin, I think I'm just going to stay in the room just for a few minutes to talk to Jonathan. So I hope you all have a great night, and thank you again for being part of the class.